business got started about 10 years ago. We were living in Cyprus, so we moved back to the UK and needed flexibility to be able to do the school runs and take the kids to school and have something that fits around them. Full-time work was not a possibility. And even part-time, then you'd be restricted to how your employer wanted you to work and what hours they wanted you to do and where they needed you to be. I've been a qualified accountant for over 20 years. So having worked in industry practice, I have all of the knowledge and experience. It was just a matter of how to apply it. And a friend approached us. He was looking to buy a publishing magazine, and he needed us to help him set it all up. So to do the limited company setup, VAT registration. So we helped him with all of that. And he said, right, I want you to manage all of the accounting side. And he goes, when you do eventually move back from Cyprus, there's a whole network of people that I know that I can put you in touch with that would benefit from your services. So it kind of just came off the back of that. We set up and then just started. I just kind of went with it. There was no plan. There was no business plan. There was no strategy or there was no goal. It was just something for me to do while the kids were growing up and at school.
And when we met, or when you came into six-figure bookkeeper world, what was happening for you at that point?
I'm a sole practitioner, so it was just me and my business, myself doing all the work, doing, everything, but never having considered all the other things as a business owner that you had to do, because I never took it as a serious business. Yes, it's a business, but not the way that I've now learned to see what a real business looks like. So I was feeling a bit stuck and just lonely, so to speak, and didn't really know who to ask or where to look. And then I came across a webinar with QuickBooks Connect Virtual, and Jo was on it, and she was talking about the advisory side of it and how she'd grown her business to be more than what it was. And so then I connected with her, and then she introduced me to the 6FB, and luckily it was boot camp week that week. So I was on that and my mind was just blown. I was like, oh my God, there's like trillions of people out there have been in a similar situation or in a situation like me that are so relatable. And that's where the real learning happened. Everything I've learned in the last 18 months, if I'd have known 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have needed 6FB.
What would you say has changed since you started the program?
Oh my God. So marketing, yes, I didn't even know it was a thing. So my online presence is like huge, but having revamped the website, thinking about what I really, really want, the goals of the business and what I want from the business, not what the business needs from me. Just thinking of it like a real grown-up business, I would say. And also seeing other people come through the program and what they've happened to achieve, and to be able to share, so people that have done it before us and be able to follow in their footsteps and take information and help from them. It's just been such a big relief to have support. Support is the main thing that I've got from it. When I first spoke to Jo and then had the call with her, she was just like a normal human being. She was just like down to earth. There was no pretentiousness or nothing like that. Both of you are very open and honest and very transparent, and you share everything from all what's going on in your personal life, as do we all, to what's going on in business. And it's like a journey we all go on together and share together. There's no you're better than me or I know more than you. It's we all know everything together, and together it's a stronger connection. I get so much more information than I would if I was just asking questions randomly elsewhere. I've come across some other business coaches and I just found them, I was too scared to join them because I just didn't think I was good enough. I've actually taken on an employee, which I never even imagined that I would do, is a part-time employee who takes away a lot of the basic bookkeeping work that I was involved in from the beginning right to the end. And it's freed up a lot of time for me to actually think about working on the business. So all the marketing, the other bits of stuff that I need to do, improving my knowledge, the CPD things that I can now take on and do, the sales and marketing, the calls and discovery calls and things I can do. It's a lot more stress off me. Oh my God, I've got to do work on that client as well as manage everything else. In terms of finance, so the turnover, this is the crazy thing. So pricing was a big thing. I was way under pricing. So that was a big lesson that I learned from being in the group. I never did hourly pricing, but it was more of a, oh yeah, I'll just charge you that much kind of pricing type thing, and just went with it. And stupidly, I didn't actually ever increase my fees because I always just thought I'm doing the same thing. So what's there to increase and how would I justify it? And so I just didn't go any further and just left the fees the same. there were some clients that grew that could recognize that, yes, fees need to increase. So they did, but they're not as much as they should have. They were growing this much, and my fees were only growing bit by bit, whereas the work I was taking on, the scope creep was just crazy. And I didn't recognize it until I was taught what it was, basically doing things in this program. In terms of finances, so before I had the same turnover and I was servicing 30 odd clients, I now have about 10 to 15 clients, but still at the same turnover.
Wow. And the freedom to have somebody else in the team as well as you grow.
Well.
Oh, I love that. What's next for you, Veshali? What are you working on next?
So working on next to try and remove myself as much as possible from the business. So I've taken on one employer, hopefully want to try and take on someone else to come in above that, so then I can slowly step away a bit more, and eventually in the next 5 to 10 years look to exit. Basically, I want to enjoy the later years, the golden years, as they say. So, my husband's looking to retire in the next 10 years or so. So I want to be able to do it at the same time as him.